Have you ever watched a pro athlete and just thought, how? How do they make something so difficult look so easy? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain and really dig into the science that transforms raw talent into truly world-class performance.
So, what is it? What's the secret sauce that separates a good athlete from a genuinely great one? Is it just being born with better genes, having a better coach, or just practicing more? Well, it's kind of all of those things, but it's how they're all organized through a super disciplined scientific process. Okay, let's get into it.
All right, the very first piece of this puzzle is the master plan. You can think of it like the software that's running the athlete's body. And in the world of sports science, this is what we call sports training. And trust me, it's way more than just going to the gym and lifting weights. Now, what I find fascinating about this definition is the phrase pedagogical process. That totally reframes things, right? It means training isn't just about getting physically stronger or faster. It's about teaching the body and the mind how to perform when everything's on the line. It's like a scientific curriculum where the final exam is competition day. So, every single effective training plan, and I mean every one, is built on a few core pillars. First up is progression. You've got to slowly, gradually increase the demand on your body so it's forced to adapt and get better. Then you've got reversibility, which is the classic use it or lose it. You know, fitness isn't permanent, so consistency is absolutely key. And finally, and this one's huge, is the principle of individual difference. What works for a 22-year-old sprinter is not going to work for a 35-year-old marathon runner. Every single plan has to be personalized. Okay, so if the training plan is the software, what's the hardware it's trying to upgrade? Well, sports science breaks down our physical abilities into 5 core categories. These are the fundamental building blocks of pretty much any great athlete. Let's take a look. First up, we've got speed. And this isn't just about who can run the fastest 100-meter dash. It's about minimizing the time it takes to do any movement. For a boxer, it's their reaction time, it's the sheer velocity of a punch. For a tennis player, it's how fast they take that first explosive step towards the ball. It's all about how quickly your body can go from 0 to 100. Next on the list is strength. This is simply the ability of your muscles to overcome some kind of resistance. But again, it's not just about lifting the heaviest weight one time. It's about explosive strength, like a high jumper launching themselves off the ground. Or it can be strength endurance, like a rower who has to pull against the water over and over and over again. You can think of strength as the engine that powers almost everything else. Then there's endurance. And a great way to think about this is as your body's energy efficiency. It's all about how well your heart and lungs can deliver oxygen to your muscles so you can fight off fatigue. This is what lets a cyclist power up a mountain or a soccer player keep sprinting in the 90th minute of a game. It is the absolute foundation for any kind of sustained performance. Now, flexibility. It's all about increasing the range of motion in your joints. And no, this isn't just for gymnasts or yogis. A bigger range of motion can let a baseball pitcher throw faster, or a sprinter take a longer, more powerful stride. It's a really critical and, honestly, an often overlooked part of generating power. And of course, it's a huge factor in preventing injuries. And last but not least, we have coordinative abilities. This is where your central nervous system comes in and acts like the body's master controller. It's the thing that lets an athlete blend speed, strength, and flexibility all into one smooth, efficient action. This is the difference between just being strong and being truly athletic. It's what allows a quarterback to feel the pass rush, move around in the pocket, and still deliver a perfect spiral downfield, all at the same time. Okay, so we've got the plan, the software, and we've got the physical abilities, the hardware. But how do you actually get better? Well, it all boils down to this really fundamental cycle. You stress the body, you let it recover, it adapts by getting a little bit stronger, and then you repeat the whole process. This entire cycle is mapped out using a strategy called periodization. Let's take an Olympic swimmer. Their whole year, maybe even 4 years, is the macro cycle. Now, within that year, they might have a 3-month block, a mesocycle, where the only goal is building raw strength. And then inside that block, each week is a microcycle, which details the exact sets, reps, and recovery time for every single day. It's literally a roadmap to peak at the perfect moment. And the absolute key here is getting the balance right. This chart shows it perfectly. Real improvement only happens in that sweet spot where your training load is matched by your recovery. If you train too hard with too little rest, you're on the fast track to burnout. But if you don't train hard enough, well, you just plateau. The magic, it's all in the balance. So we've covered the training plan and the physical tools, but there's one more layer to this. It's not enough to just be strong or fast. You have to move efficiently. And this is where we get into the actual physics of the human body. This is biomechanics.
Now, to really get this, it helps to know the difference between two fields. You have kinesiology, which basically studies movement itself. It asks the question, what moves? But biomechanics, that goes a level deeper. It asks, why does it move that way? It's the science of all the forces. We're talking gravity, friction, muscle power that actually create the movement. And for an athlete, understanding this stuff is like unlocking a cheat code for performance. And believe it or not, it all starts with Sir Isaac Newton. His first law, the law of inertia, is super simple. Things tend to keep doing whatever they're already doing. A soccer ball is just going to sit on the field forever until an outside force, a kick, acts on it. And once it's rolling, it wants to keep rolling. So his second law tells us how we actually change that motion. To make something accelerate, you have to apply a force. The more force you apply, the faster it goes. But its mass fights back against that change. And that's exactly why if you throw a light cricket ball and a heavy basketball with the exact same amount of force, that little cricket ball is going to go way, way further. And finally, the third law, and this one is everything in sports. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. I mean, think about a swimmer. They don't pull themselves through the water. No, they push the water backward. That's the action, and the water's reaction is to push them forward. Every jump, every sprint, every single throw is all powered by this one fundamental law of physics. So there you have it. Becoming a top-tier athlete is this incredible mix of a smart training plan, building up the body's physical hardware, and then mastering the physics of your own movement. It really is a science. Which just leaves one last question for you to think about. You might train your body all the time, but do you really understand how and why it moves the way it does? Because understanding that, well, that could be the key to unlocking your own true potential. Thanks for joining me.